Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to welcome Simon and Tom, who are really nice geezers because they're going to do Phonella's shopping.
Shopping. The nearest shop's for 5 miles walk down a concertina mountain road. Not as young as I was, she'd say to nobody in particular. It was true, she was not as young as she was. Phonella couldn't drive to the shops because she never learned how to. Her husband had loved to drive, but he was dead now and had asked out the car very existence. He had left behind 2 sons and a daughter, but they couldn't do the shopping either because they were hundreds of miles away in the city, making children's television programs that she'd watch on the small black and white set that stood in the corner of her house, inexplicably speckled with dull white emulsion. When she wasn't watching television or shopping, Phonella would sit and watch the breath leave her mouth in clouds, or sleep, and have nightmares about dogs. There were dogs all down the road to the shops. Every building had one, and whenever Phonella passed, it would bound against the wire fence, barking and snarling at it with a bull's breath and fury. Well, this would set off the dogs on the mountainside opposite, and they'd start snarling back and forth until the whole valley eventually ended with a furious animal din. At such moments, Phonella always felt the world was coming to an end. Now, this happened every time Phonella passed a building, and there are 47 buildings on the way to the shops, and there are 47 buildings on the way back, and this is one of the reasons Phonella hated shopping. Another reason was the wind that tore through the mountains, blasting her face and handling a headscarf on the way down, and rattling her plastic bags like the sails of an unmanned ship on the way back up. In fact, there was only one thing Phonella liked about the walk to the shops: the goldfish. Occasionally you could spot 2 or 3 swimming about in the concrete water tanks that were peppered along the roadside, although you couldn't have them for too long in case you accidentally made eye contact with a dog. So, one day, Phonella went shopping. The wind was particularly strong that day, the dogs were going mad, and she had to put her hand in front of her face to stop dust and thorns getting blown into her eyes. At the shops, she put a coin in the line of trolleys and pulled one out. Now, she's always very careful about how much she bought because, of course, it had to be loud all the way back uphill. And today, she selected 2 tins of sweet corn, 3 tins of tomatoes, a tin of peaches, a pack of sliced bread, 6 eggs, and a load of cheese. When she paid for it all, she loaded up the plastic bag, returned the trolley to the line and collected her coin, then left. Outside, the wind assaulted the plastic bag, throwing her back up the mountainside, staggering and skipping with the bag, thrusting about in front of her. And then, as she passed the 23rd house, she was almost stopped in her tracks by a noise more terrible than either the growling of the dogs or the howling of the wind. She heard a rustle and a clang, sound of a wire fence coming down. Then she heard the scuffle and scrabble of 4 heavy paws tearing up the hill behind her. She was being chased. A dirty great mess of a dog with no nose and matted hair the colour of cigarette smoke with broken free was coming after her. She could hear its enormous muzzle bobbling and barking. It was like she better start running very fast indeed. But to no avail. Even with the wind behind her, she never be able to outrun it. She could feel the dogs snarling and panting on their shins. And then just as she thought there'd be nothing left of her with the back of the dogs already mouth running breath, the wind filled her back with such a force that she was swept off the ground and up into the air. Holding onto her shopping for dear life, Phonella was racing higher and still higher, leaving the dog far behind. She was being swung around the ether like a kite, wham, one direction, up, enough, until, all of a sudden, just as she was checking the watch to see for how long she'd been airborne, as soon as it started, the wind stopped, and Phonella and her shopping plummeted to earth. Now this was surprising enough. But more surprising still was the discovery that she was not alone in the orange tree. An old man was sitting in its branches, warming a pot of something over a stove suspended from one of the boughs. "Hello," said the old man. "My name's Ivor." "Hello," said Phonella. "My it's good turn. Oh, not at all. I'm sorry about the 1 cup, said Ida. But I don't normally get many visitors. One doesn't as a rule living in a tree. May I ask what brings you here? Oh, well, that's quite embarrassing, really, said Phonella, making herself comfortable. You see, I was being chased by a dog. Oh, a dog! I'll tell you how to deal with them. Always carry sand in your pockets. Sand? Said Phonella. Yes. The next time a dog looks like giving you any trouble, simply throw the sand in the creature's face. This will confuse it. Then you raise your finger to your index lips and you give it a sharp. That will show who's boss. I must remember that, said Phonella. Thank you very much indeed. How's that feel, all right? Phonella took another sip of the old man's mulled wine and passed the cup back to him. While he was drinking, she looked about and saw that, in addition to the stove, the tree had hanging in its branches a mattress, a tin bath, a man with various clothes on hangers, and a small transistor radio inexplicably speckled with dull white emulsion. May I ask why you live in a tree? Phonella ventured. Ida gave it some thought, then said, "It's the view, Indy. Look." And he pointed a soft, wrinkled finger. Phonella looked and was dumbfounded. There, beyond the mountains, was the sea with patches of brilliant light, which sea serpents with gold and glossy names that sometimes briefly appeared before diving back under the surface. There was an island full of boats and wooden houses painted in the colours of the sunset up like ink dropped onto wet paper. In its centre was a stone courtyard where hundreds of people wearing masks and setting off fireworks and riding on each other's shoulders, sometimes 3 or 4 at a time. Another didn't quite know what to say. They're having a carnival, Ida explained. Those sea serpents aren't real. They're made of horsehair and camel hair. I've been watching the animals on the month for the past 3 months, and now they're taking each other on trips to the bottom of the sea. Good, isn't it? Yes, said Phonella. Very good. And then she looked down and made a horrible discovery. Oh dear. All my shopping bits were fallen out. Oh well. I don't suppose it got far, said Ida. No, that's true. I suppose I'd better go and look for it, said Phonella. This was an embarrassment as well. Patience! Where to begin? Well, feel free to call again, shouted Ida. Oh yes, definitely, said Phonella, as she reached the bottom of the tree. Then, just as she was turning to go, she heard Ida call out, "Look! Would you like any help?" "Why, that's very kind of you," said Phonella. "Yes, I'd love some help."